Hello, everyone. It's Taylor. Super, super, super excited for this live stream. One, because you get to see me kind of uncomfortable in this like red lip color that I just put on for the first time ever and I've never done before. So thank you for witnessing this. And two, because we're talking about a topic that's like really, really close to my heart because a year ago, a little less. Well, what would it be? If this was October 2016, it'd be a little less than a year, right? I can't do the calendar math right now. A little less than a year ago, I decided that I was so done being overbooked, and I had been overbooked in my business for months. So since May, June, July, August, September. So about 5 months I had been overbooked in my business and not making enough money to really feel financially supported or happy or like I was thriving or like my business was even really worth it. And I had a lot of stuff going on, right? So I'm excited to talk about this because I've been there. I've gone through this. I've been overworked, overbooked, and underpaid. And I was thinking about this today, and there's really two things I want to share with you. I want to share with you the first thing that you need to realize, and then the first thing that you need to do to catapult your business to the next level, which for people that work with me and my clients, and probably a lot of you who are watching, is somewhere between 5-figure cash months and multiple 5-figure months. So that's what we're going to talk about really quick. Bear with me. I'm going to share this out into my group. So if you're not in my Facebook group, go join us. It's super awesome there. We do exclusive live streams, exclusive content every day, tons of amazing, badass, ambitious women. The group is called Ambitious Badass Entrepreneurs. So posting in a group, sharing this out really, really quick. Yay! Awesome. People are hopping on. Say hi if you're here. I want to know who's watching. At least I think I want to know who's watching. Just kidding. Say hi. Let me know if you're here. If you're on the replay, say hi too. And I want you guys to know that this is a total open discussion. So if this is really speaking to you, feel free to ask questions as we go. If you don't know me, you should, but if you don't know me, I'm Taylor Manning, and I help ambitious, up-and-coming online leaders who are ready to have 5-figure and multiple 5-figure months catapult their business to the next level using creative, standout marketing strategies created just for them, right? Because a lot of my clients are spiritual in some way, or they're very heart-centered, their business means a lot to them. They don't want to do anything that doesn't feel aligned or good or like it's meant for them. And I was totally there. And so I help you guys come up with strategies that work for you to get where you want to go. Totally customized. Okay, let's talk about this. Overworked, overbooked. I don't care where you're at in your business. Most of us want to be making more money. Most of us are not at that end goal yet. And I don't know if there really is an end goal. Actually, there's not. I guess I do know that. There's not an end goal, or there's not an end point, right? But we can be at this point where we should be doing pretty well, right? Like we have a roster of clients, we have programs going, signing clients has gotten pretty easy. It's not like it's the hardest thing in the world anymore. You're at this point in your business where you know you're going to keep making money and like this is what you're doing, and like there really is no other option or there is no backup plan, right? But you're not really satisfied at all with the amount of money you're bringing in, right? And you might be proud of yourself, or you might be living totally fine, but you're just like, gosh, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, my calendar stresses me out. That's where I was at just less than a year ago. It was like, I would look at my calendar and just like anxiety would like overcome me and just be like, oh my God, I don't even really want to do this next week or tomorrow. Whenever I was looking, I would think about canceling calls and not showing up. And like, I was just like feeling a lot like that, right? Hey, Genevieve. Yay, I love you back. I'm going to heart your comment. So that's what I was going through. And I think there's just two really quick things that I want to share with you guys in regards to this. Genevieve, thank you. I was saying in the beginning that like I just put this on before and I've never worn like this bright of a red. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to put it on right now and press live There's no turning back. And that's what I'm doing. So I told everyone at the beginning, thank you for witnessing me like this, where I don't even really understand what I look like right now. Okay, so if you're in this position, the first thing you have to realize is going to make me sound kind of negative, kind of harsh, but not really, is that it's your fault where you're at. And you can think of it two ways. It's your fault or it's your decision. It's your choice, right? So like where you're at right now is 100% all you, right? So if you're undercharging, that's all you. And I remember feeling this resentment sometimes of like, I know I'm worth so much more, I should be charging more, or I would have these clients pay me a lot less and I was charging more for others. And this is something that had actually followed me for a long time, because if you guys know my story, this is something that happened to me in my freelance business too, where one client was paying me $10 an hour, one client was paying me $50 an hour. If you can see, I was a total hot mess. So if you're a hot mess, no shame, no judgment, because I was a hot mess, totally. And it was my fault, right? Or it was my decision. I chose not to ask for a client to pay me more. I chose to re-sign a client at that low price. I chose to give a discount. I chose to not raise my prices when I really wanted to, right? I think the pricing thing too, guys, is a huge, huge thing. Sometimes just getting over it and raising your prices, like that can solve so much. Because you can be working with really amazing clients doing work that you really, really love, and then this can all build up and still happen simply because of your prices. Because even though we should be doing things that we love and we should do or we should be like something that like, if we were going to work for free, like this would be what we would do, blah, blah, blah. But let's face it, like we live in a world where money is like, you have to have it and there's no shame in making it, and you're a business, so you should be making great money too. There's a million reasons. Like, this can all build up simply because of your pricing, and it can build up because of the programs. Like if you don't like the clients you're taking on, if you don't love the stuff that you're teaching, if you don't love the programs that you're running, if your calendar is so busy that it gives you anxiety or stresses you out or freaks you out or like makes you not want to show up to work, aka like roll out of bed and work from home, like the dream, right? That's your fault. That was your decision. So like I think the first thing that you have to do is really just like take ownership. And I think there's two ways to look at it, right? And this is what I've been going through right now, where I'm going through it again, right? I don't feel like all these things I'm saying about like the resentment stuff, I totally don't feel right now, which is awesome. But I'm ready to go to the next level, right? And so where I'm at right now is like, okay, Taylor, where I'm at right now, where you're at, was 100% your choice and your doing. So way to go on getting yourself here. You're a badass. Like what you're already doing is stuff that most people never accomplish. So I'm proud of myself, right? I was talking about this a lot on my 6-Figure Ambition, my group program call on Friday. You have to get to a point where you can just be proud of yourself where you're at. That doesn't mean settle. That means just be proud of yourself. Give yourself the recognition that you really deserve. For some reason, for me and for a lot of my clients, I find we get really uncomfortable and even like kind of emotional about being proud of ourselves. You have to be 110% so proud of yourself, more proud of yourself than you've ever been, more proud of yourself than you've ever been proud of anyone else. Like you've just got to be there. And you also have to accept the fact that everything that you've chose has led to this. So if you're in this like unhappy, ungrateful kind of place, just be like, I decided to get here, so now I can decide wherever else I want to go, right? Okay, that's the first thing. It's your fault. It was your decision. It was your choice. You're a badass no matter what you're going through. And a lot of the times too, guys, I'm not talking like, I don't want this live stream to be to people who are like super just depressed and hate their business. Like that's not really who I'm trying to talk to. I'm trying to talk to people who are the overachiever, right? And are super ambitious. So like for me last year, I was making 10, 20K a month, but I was busy and stressed and not feeling as happy as I should have been and not fully stepping into what I wanted to do and where I wanted to be. So it's not like I was depressed and miserable and like hated every second of my business, but I still wasn't actually happy, and that's okay, right? Because you can be grateful for what you have, but also want more, and you don't have to settle for making good money, but not like loving what you're doing or fully stepping into who you want to be or the business that you want to have, right? Tell me if this is making sense. If it's not, ask questions or tell me it's not making sense. But I think it's making sense. Okay, the second thing, this is like your action step. So that's the first thing that you have to realize. Now we're going to talk about the first thing I really want you guys to do. Elizabeth, I so resonate with the overachiever identity. It's so tiring, but you don't get to complain about it publicly. Yes, I can so relate to Elizabeth, because it's like, you start to kind of seem or sound to others or sound to yourself, it's this thing that we tell ourselves of like, I was just going through this too, of like, but like, why can't you just be like happy with what you have, and why do you need more, and like what is that balance? Like, it's so interesting trying to find these balances in life of like the two I've been going through are like one of like, where am I going with this? The first balance is like being happy with what you have and being grateful, but wanting more and like pushing harder and like whatever. And then the second one is like being happy with your body and loving yourself and like having that self-love going on, but still like working on improving yourself. It goes on in all areas of our life, I think, right? No one wants to hire someone whining about having too many clients. It sounds so bad, but it's not. And that's why I want to talk about this, because I think a lot of us can relate and a lot of us don't have someone to talk to about it, or we sound whiny or whatever, but you're not whiny. It's like overachiever. And it's about getting, like, you can have that business that like everything is going amazing and is great and like you totally designed it the way you want it to be. You're allowed to do that, and you should try, you should go after it, and you can get there. Okay, here's what I want you guys to do, and this is really, really actually fun, and it's also really eye-opening. So what I found for myself and for a lot of my clients, funny, there's always like correlations going on, guess that's why they're ideal clients, is that when we think about where we want to go next month or like the rest of the year, because there's like, I don't know, a few months left, it feels like there's a decent amount of time, but we want to move slow. We want to take these incremental steps, raising our prices. One big thing we're talking about in this live stream is raising your prices and how that can fix a lot of things. We want to raise our prices a lot of the times incrementally. So like by $500 or $1,000 every client, or every 2 or 3 clients every month. Like I did this for so long, where I was giving myself raises, even in my freelance business, right? I was giving myself raises. So I would say, okay, it's January, I'm charging $10 an hour. By May, I want to be charging $20 an hour. And I would incrementally work my way to that, and I'd give myself these raises. And then I'd say, and by May, I'm going to talk to all my clients about paying $20 an hour, and I'm going to prepare for that, and I'm going to have backup clients. And that's not how it has to be, right? I mean, it's great to play it a little safe sometimes, I guess. But the thing is, that's what I was doing. And last year when I was coaching, when a lot of this was going on for me and I was feeling a lot of resentment, was I was saying, okay, I'll take 2 or 3 more clients, then I'll raise my price. And I was just guilty of saying this the other day, and I'm like, fuck that, I'm gonna raise my prices right now. I'm doing this again. We can be guilty of it all the time, but you just have to become more aware. It can be like, I'm gonna take on 2 more clients and then I'll raise my price. This is when I hear from my clients, I'm going to wait until I get some really good testimonials, like 1 or 2 really good testimonials from my current clients, and then I'll raise my price, and then I'll promote the program, and then I'll do this or that, right? So we want to move really incrementally. But what I found is that if we think bigger, for a lot of us, for me, it's like 1 year out. So 1 year to some of us doesn't seem that long. For me, 1 year, I'm like, oh yeah, I can think really big right now. 1 year, like everything is going to be perfect, and it's going to be changed, and like everything I want is going to come true. Like I can think really big. So for you, it might be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years. For me, 1 year is really allowing myself to open up. So pick an amount of time that allows you to really think big, right? 1 year, I find for a lot of us who are overachievers, we're like, oh yeah, 1 year, I can get some shit done. So let's think about 1 year vision. So what I want you to do is just think about where you want to be in 1 year, right? Or 5 years, whatever works for you. I don't care. But we're going to use 1 year for right now. Where do you want to be in 1 year? What are you charging? How many clients do you have? What programs are you running? How often are you traveling? Like what else is going on? Are you speaking? Is your list at a bajillion thousand people? What type of strategies are you doing in your business? What does your team look like? Even thinking about your life too. Where do you live? What is your relationship like? What's your relationship with your family like? How are you showing up? What do you look like? How do you feel, right? Create that vision. Now, once you do that, probably do this after the live stream, guys, but you probably already have some things popping up in your head of like, oh God, in 1 year, I'm going to easily be making 20 or 30K a month. I'm going to be charging $10,000 for my package. I'm going to be, only working with 5 or 6 clients at a time, or whatever it is for you. No wrong or right answers here. But I want you to look at those things and be really honest with yourself of which ones you can do right now or you can take steps towards. So if you say, this is the big one, right? We're focusing a lot on this, even though this isn't the main topic, but it kind of is. If you see that in 1 year, you're going to be charging $10,000 for your program, I want you to really dive into that and be like, okay, why am I not doing that right now? And all that's going to come up is fear and stories and reasons and blah, 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 right? And some of it might be true. Maybe you're not really qualified to charge $10,000. I don't know. We're not going to go into that right now. But a lot of the times, if we're thinking that big, we're actually ready for it and we're qualified right now to do it, or at least take a freaking step towards it, right? And what's really cool is that when you think about where you wanted to be, for me, when I think about like last year to now where I wanted to be, I've so surpassed that. And even my coaches will joke with me of like, okay, you want to do that in the next 3 months? Like probably that's going to be done. Bug, hate bugs. Hate bugs when they like fly in front of your face. Leave me alone. My coaches will joke with me and be like, okay, you want to get that done like the next 90 days? That'll probably be done before our next call because that's just how you do it. Every time you decide, it just happens. And it's true, right? For me, for a lot of overachievers, we get stuff done a lot faster than we estimate. So anyway, main thing here is, where do you want to be in 1 year, 5 years, or however long you need to think about to make yourself think big? What can you do right now? And stop making yourself move incrementally. You can move, I hope I'm saying it right. You can move incrementally, you can move slower, you can take it one step at a time, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes it makes no sense. So I would just ask yourself, like, why does that have to take me a year? Can I do that right now? Why not? And call yourself out on BS, because if the reason you can't raise your price right now is because you need to work with more clients, or you need to do it slower, or nobody's going to pay you that right now, then you can be like, okay, why is that true? Or is it even true? Or what steps do I need to take to actually get to that point? Start taking action on it now. And I really challenge you to be honest, to take at least 1 or 2 of the things off of that 1 year vision and just do it right now. And even if it's scary, even if you don't think anyone's going to pay it, or if you don't have the list big enough, or whatever is going on in your head, I would do 1 or 2 of them right now, because all that's going to do is help you, right? All that's going to do is catapult you so much further ahead than you thought you could catapult. I don't know why I'm like using that word a lot today, but that's what's on my mind. I just kind of, I'm sure someone has used this exercise before. I don't know. I made this up the other day for myself, of like, why am I not doing this vision now? And I don't know exactly how this happened, but people will tell you, like, start working on it or just lock it in and things like that. But sometimes there are these little actions like backspacing on the sales page and putting in the new price and creating the new PayPal button or whatever, right? Yeah, that's what I think we need to do. Realize it's your fault where you are, it's your decision where you are, and it's your decision where you want to go. Create that 1 year vision, choose 1 or 2 things from that vision, and do them right now. Okay? Any questions? Any thoughts? Who's going to do it? I'm going to put a link in the chat really quick for something. Tomorrow, I am doing a free case study training on my 80K launch that I did in January. So for me, one big thing last year that I wanted to do but I wasn't ready for was a big group program launch. And I did that in January. I had an 80K launch. I relaunched that program. So now I've brought in over 100K through this one program alone. That takes me a couple hours a week, if that. So anyway, I'm doing that case study. I'm going to talk to you about list building and all the prep I did and all the team I hired and everything I invested in, everything I would do different, everything I would do the same, what I changed from launch to launch. Like, I'm just going to go really deep into all the stuff I did and a strategy, just because I wish I could have seen some of these numbers more openly. And some things worked out how I wanted them to, some things didn't, but I just want to document this. One, so I have it, and so I can actually look at my numbers and be clear on it, so you guys can see what it takes or whatever, if this is something you want to do. If you want to have big group program launches, I'm going to tell you what about my system was freaking awesome and epic and easy and just really flowed, and what about my system and strategy that wasn't, because not everything went as planned. Surprise, surprise. So it's totally free. Click that link. Go sign up. What is also really cool is you're going to get to see me using the Facebook bot thingy where I can like message you and stuff. So if you want to see how I use that too, let's do it. I'm just testing this out. So go sign up for that. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really simple training. I don't know I haven't even put anything together for it. Probably work on that today, hopefully. But I'm just going to break down the numbers, break down what I did, word vomit it all out to you, and of course it'll have Q&A and stuff like that too, so we can chat about whatever you guys want to chat about. Hey Ellen, I just got super clear on my own numbers last week and it has changed my business in the best ways. It is really cool to be clear on your numbers, and it is really cool to be clear on where you want to go with those numbers too. And a lot of it is like really blinders on, head down, get to work strategy, but some of it is really just like just doing it and declaring it and going with it, and it can all happen even without much action, but more decision. Decision is action. Anyway, I love that, Ellen. I'm glad that you got clear on your numbers. So I'm excited for this case study because I'm very clear on the first launch, but I really just, the numbers, obviously, 80K and everything else that went into it, but I just want to break it all down for you guys and for myself and hang out and have fun. And not sure what I'll do with it afterwards. I'm going between either just having the replay as a free opt-in, but I might also sell the replay. So this might turn into a paid product of some sort. So get in on it while it's free. I will see you guys there. If you guys have any follow-up questions to this live stream, or if you want to share anything that happened, feel free to send me a message or leave a comment on this live stream. Even if you're on the replay, I'd love to hear from you, and I will be checking the notifications and coming back and replying to your comments. Super excited to hear what you do for your one-year vision and what you implement right now. Let's catapult our businesses exactly where we want them to be, like right now, because it can happen. It doesn't have to happen in a year. Bye, everybody.